So now we are going to start off with multi-threaded programming, and basically the additional topics were one that we discussed in the previous video, that is managing errors and exceptions. So multi-threading is a Java feature that allows concurrent execution of two or more parts of a program with maximum utilization of CPU, and each such part of the program will be called a thread, and basically thread can be treated as a lightweight process within a process. So if you want to consider an example of what a thread can be, when we type a document in Microsoft Word, we can see that your while the MS Word is writing, we can type our document, and in the meanwhile at the background process, the software itself is checking if there is any error in the portion that we have typed. So it would usually identify the grammatical mistakes with red with blue underlining, and the spelling mistakes with the red underlining. So I hope you have seen that. So basically we can treat it as two threads running simultaneously. So the basic, you have an software that is running, that is Microsoft Word, and inside that you have so many sub processes that are happening. So sometimes we might see that the word has been auto saved message might be coming, which means that is another thread, or it can be considered as another thread that is functioning in the background and all. That would explain what a thread is basically. And a large program can be divided into smaller chunks of program called as thread. Now moving ahead, we need to have an idea about what is the life cycle of a thread. So this note will be helpful in understanding. It has got a good amount of data which can help you learn. So this thread life cycle would be classified under 5 stages. One will be new, then it will be runnable, it is running, it is waiting, and it will be dead. So when we start off these 3 stages, that is runnable, running, and waiting, will be some intermediate stages that happen between the new and dead, and that would be depending upon the which thread is being run and which thread is not being, or which has come to the forefront. So basically, if thread T1 is running right now, and if thread T2 comes in the forefront, we can see that T1 will move to the waiting state. So it is something like what we had already mentioned. If you remember, when we discussed about Android programming, we discussed that there are activities. So when you open an app, the first loaded activity would be the main activity, and when another activity comes in forefront, the other one is called a post. If you remember that concept, it can be treated as in a similar manner. So like I said, it has got 5 stages. One is new, runnable, running, waiting, and dead. So basically, if you move ahead, you have the verbal description for all these kind of stages, and you can read through it, and it is easy to understand. And any doubts you can put forward in the doubt clearing session. Now, threads can be created using two mechanisms. One is a thread class, and other is using a runnable interface. So basically, the two things to be understood here is regarding the keywords class, and other is interface. So you have two entities over here that enables the creation of a thread. One is a class, and another is an interface. So if you have class, if you are inheriting or from another class, then it would be the keyword extending and extend, and if you are running an interface, it would be implementing. So if you remember the topics of class and interface and what is the difference between keyword extending and implementing, this concept that is explained over here should be clear. If it is run by a thread class, it will be extending. If it is run by a runnable interface, then it will be implementing. So we'll take a look at some of the 4 programs that are listed over here, and what this basically shows is a particular aspect of how this program happens and where does a thread come in. So it will be explained in these 4 programs. So if you want to look at what is a basic idea of a thread, then if you every program that we have been running so far has been one single thread. I repeat, every program that we have been doing at this till this particular point, it was one single thread. Now if you look at this program, you can see that there is a class called thread demo. It has a main function and it is supposed to display this text hi. So this basically contains a thread and that is a main function. Now all the execution is carried out by that single thread and this is a default condition of the program. So we'll try running it. Nothing much to see over here. So basically if you run this particular program, you will see that it is going to display this text called hi, and basically that would be a single thread that is run over there. Coming to the second program, you can see that it has got two classes. Now nothing inheritance happening over here. So you have this hi that is running over here. Now you have this hello class which will be displaying hello text over here. So you have two such classes over here. The class hi, which is having this function show, and what is supposed to do display the text hi over here. And then you have the class hello, which is again having a show function, and you have this println hello statement where you will be displaying this text hello. And you have the thread demo class which is having the main function, and you are creating an object obj1 of this class and you're creating obj2 of this class, and both of them call the show function. And when they call the show functions, it will be displaying hi 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 5 times, and it will be displaying hello another 5 times. Now this is also a single thread program. So if you look over here, this program contains two classes like that I mentioned before, and the objects are created of each classes to run, and these are run by the same thread again called main. So this can be said as a single threaded program also. So nothing much happens over here. So when we run this particular program, it is going to execute this show and it is going to display hi 5 times. It is going to display this show again and then it displays hello as called. When we discussed about the life cycle of the thread, actually you could also take a look at this picture over here. Basically this one shows the same life cycle over here, but additionally there are some methods that are being used here. So you have a method called stop here, you have a method called sleep, you have a method called start, resume, notify, yield, etc. Now each of this you can access this particular W3 resource and it will give you what is the method for method and its description. So if we are going to see a method called start, we are going to see that it is going to be indicating the start of a new thread of execution, and it will be calling the run method of the thread. Now if you look at the sleep function, it has got a int sleep time. Basically it will be given in milliseconds and it indicates that the thread will be suspended for or in sleep mode for that much duration that is mentioned in the time that is specified in milliseconds. So here we are going to look into this program. So the third variety that we are going to see right now. So if you look over here, we are going to implement a thread by extending the thread class. It will be conveyed in this particular video. So if you look over here, we have a class hi which is extended through the thread class. Got a method called run which will be displaying the same thing. You have a try method that is given over here, that this thread will be going to a sleep function for 500 milliseconds. Remember we already had discussed what is a sleep function. So this thread will be calling a sleep function for 500 milliseconds, and similarly there will be a catch and exception statement will be provided over there. So in case if this deals with any error, naturally there will be a counter statement over here, but here there won't be any issue, so we haven't given anything over here. So similarly you have a hello class over here which is extended to thread, so which makes these threads either, and so hi and hello becomes threads actually. And basically if you look over here, it's the same function. You have the run method, and basically it will be executing hello or displaying hello for 5 times, and then it'll be going into a sleep for 500 milliseconds, and then it'll be calling this exception if required. Now you have this main function coming over here. So this is the thread demo, and when you have the thread demo, you have the main function, object 1 which is of the class hi, and object 2 which is of the class hello, and object 1 will be calling the method start. So now this becomes a thread, and it is actually calling the start method, which we already discussed earlier. So naturally, basically it will be executing the thread functionality. So the run method that is given over here, so it'll be running this particular thread for the first time. So I first instant, and then it'll be displaying high, and then it enters into the sleep. Now when it enters to the sleep, meanwhile another object has been created over here, which is of the obj2. So obj2 will be calling out the start method. So by that time we can see that this thread will be activating, and this thread would be coming back to the forefront, and we can see that simultaneously this will happen, and hence we get alternate display statements as hi hello, like that for 5 times. So I hope that point is clear over here in this particular aspect. So this can be run and seen in our situation. So we'll do this program in the compiler. So we try running this program with this compiler, and you can see that it functions over here. Like I said before, created over here, and the thread being created over here. Now if you try running this particular code, you can see that it is going to create a statement like hi hello. So this is, one second. Yeah, so that particular program has created a result like this. So hi hello, alternatively it comes over here. So I hope the point is clear. You have this function that is being called over here, that is run by this particular obj, then it displays high, then it enters into a sleep. Meanwhile this gets activated, and when a thread gets slept, then naturally this thread comes into the forefront and it executes, and that is why you have the hello over there. And when you have the hello, it executes over there, then this one comes back alive and activated, and this runs, and similarly you get the alternate statements. So suppose if this time is extended to 1000, so just imagine this will be sleeping more than the hello thread. So let us assume this is taking double time to come back to the normal state, and meanwhile this will be kept in this scenario. So let's see what happens when we run this particular program. So we execute this program, and you can see that this becomes hi hello hi hello hi hello. Here the entire loop gets over. For the thread hello, it is supposed to display hello for the 5 times, so it gets over, and then naturally you have this particular the remaining high being executed. So here the thread hello gets over, and only the thread high remains over here, which is why this program runs in this manner. So I hope that concept is clear. I'll give you one more quick brush up. We were discussing on how to create a thread by using a class called thread. So which is why we are using this class concept over here, which is why this thread class is considered over here. And here you are using the keyword extends. Now here you are supposed to execute this function, and you have a try statement given over here, which is you calling this function sleep for 500 milliseconds, and exception statement is also given. And then you have the next thread, that is hello, which is again supposed to display the text hello, go on sleep for 500 milliseconds, and exception. And then you have the alternate objects calling the start function. So once a thread goes into the inactive state, that is a sleep mode, then the other thread comes into the forefront. So now after displaying high over here, it goes into a sleep, whereby this thread comes to the forefront and it will be displaying hello. And similarly you get hi hello as the alternate statements. I showed the difference between what happens when this 500 was replaced with 1000. You can see that the statement altered as hi hello, and then hi hello likewise, depending on that value that we give, as thread decides to sleep and come back depending on the time mentioned over there. So I hope this concept is clear. We'll be looking into the next topic in the next video, that is creating a thread by implementing the runnable interface.